Give me like 20 minutes.
I'm almost out of popcorn.
You're full of shit.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Give me like 3 hours. Hold on.
Yeah.
BRB tomorrow.
Megohanen million.
Give me a sec. Let me just crash the game again for us.
Still no response, huh?
No, speak common or get the fuck out, dude.
How's
And,
everybody doing? Ready for another session? Who's going to give me the recap?
I missed half the session last time, so I don't think I should.
It's a fair
We
point.
lost a good man last game. We lost a good man. He didn't want to go. He rolled a nat 20 to come back, but we still lost.
Twice.
2 nat
Lost
20s, dude.
twice.
Yeah, so what else happened?
Oh, we had to deal with some panthers. Fucking hate those things.
believe they're called Sex Panther.
Yeah, probably.
You said you wouldn't
I
call
mean,
me that anymore.
It tried to haul me off into a tree.
Point of inspiration for somebody that can tell me what they're actually called.
Shadow stalkers, I believe.
Nights. Oh, yeah, I was going to say Night Stalkers. Think you're closer.
It was Shadow Stalkers.
I mean, is
so,
that it? That's all you got, Ionic?
Yeah, well, what else happened?
Oh, we had to go bury our friend too. He wanted to be buried under a tree at Weathertop,
Yeah, all
Under
they
the
wanted to be
silver leaf tree.
silver
right next
birch.
to his wife.
Yeah, anybody remember anything about the place he's being buried?
Just a lone little shack cabin up on a hill.
It's the place
that
he
all that's there?
protected that had
The
the
tree
map
next to it.
and riddle of the riddle that he gave us for finding the all
The
seeing.
stone.
Yeah,
The same stone.
Palantiri.
yeah.
I'm not going to use its elf name.
That's his name.
Well, shame on you. Yeah, so we're going to pick up right there after you guys burying the ranger. Brings me to the name of this episode, The Shadow of the Watchtower. The sun hangs high, but pale in that early afternoon sky, casting a muted light over the hills. A gentle breeze stirs the birch leaves, whispering over the freshly turned earth where the ranger now rests, his grave nestled beneath the lone silver tree that once shaded his watch. Company stands in a quiet hush, gathered near a modest wooden shack, weather-worn and leaning, the last mark of a life spent in lonely service. Behind you, the grave settles into memory. Before you, the ancient hill looms. From here, just a few hundred feet away, you can see its full shape, steep, weathered slopes rising like the back of some great slumbering beast. The crown of the hill is broken, ringed with shattered stones that reach skyward in jagged defiance. Once the proud tower of the Dunedain, now it stands in silence, a ruin cloaked in history and forgotten power. You can see a winding path, partly overgrown, that sends the hill. Somewhere up there, the answers the fallen ranger hinted at may yet await. The riddle, the stone, the whispers of prophecy buried in shadow and time. You turn your eyes to the summit. It's time. Take it away.
Well, I suppose we have work to do.
I guess it's time to climb.
What time?
What
of
do you
day
mean
is
by work there, or short boy?
Well, we did promise we'd find this Palantir.
And you think it's all the way up there?
Well, I think logically we should try to decipher this riddle before we just climb and start looking through boulders, you know?
Well, I have some
I-
thoughts on the riddle. It said something about a watchtower, didn't it? Do we know where the closest watchtower would be?
I look to the warden. Feels like his wheelhouse.
Turner,
So
you
the
said
riddle said
closest
beneath the crown of the broken, or beneath the crown of broken flame, where stars were watched and kingdoms named, seeks the steps that never falls, the shadowed gate behind gray walls. When moonlight shines on stone made bare, the hidden path reveals the stair. Speak the name of he who saw, and through the flame unveil the law.
So, according to all the documents that I've read, my first assumption was that the watchtower was talking about Weathertop.
what watchtower?
Where's the riddle again? Hold on.
Here, I'll post it again.
It says where stars were watched. That's the only time watch comes up.
Sounds like we weren't going to find anything that we actually need until it's nighttime.
Well, we'd have to be there underneath the moon, it looks like.
We'll have to be at the right location, which means we have to figure out the location before the moon shines.
Right.
So let's start at the beginning. Beneath the crown of broken flame. Would that be Weathertop here?
I believe so. But if anybody has any other ideas.
So thinking back to what the ranger told you guys about his theory is that what this riddle is talking about is Weathertop. There's other theories that say it could be Fornost or other places, but his working theory was it is Weathertop.
I believe the Weathertop fits this description, where
Is there a throne room or anything that's in Weathertop?
so there was a great tower built on Weathertop. Would Lingo know all this? I'm assuming Lingo would know all this.
Roll me an old lore check. I'll tell you how much you know.
But it
And
says
I roll
where,
1 2, even though I have a +0.
where stars were watched and kingdoms named. Is this a place where somebody would have named kingdoms?
Paul, don't lie.
So, Lingo, you would know that this is one of the original watchtowers that was built when Elendil himself traveled here from Numenor, bringing the 9 Palantiri with him. They set up this watchtower specifically as a central location and put the most powerful Palantiri here to act as a kind of communication device between all of the other ones. This one here could not only communicate with every other Palantiri in the land, but it could also be used as like a remote viewing type thing. You know that this particular watchtower was guarded, had the most guarded like none of the others. Like it was the most important one to the Numenorians, the Dunedain. And when the Battle of the Witch King happened in the 1400s, 13 and 1400s, it fell around 1409.
Okay. So I would give that history lesson to the rest of the group and end with saying, I believe this riddle says we have to go to Weathertop search for some specific stones, and speak the name Elendil underneath the moonlight.
Well, let's get to where the
We
doorway
need
might be.
to seek the step that never falls.
Seek the step that never falls.
So if it fell many times, was there one that didn't?
That might become apparent on Weathertop. So I think we should head towards Weathertop and then just search the ruins for the rest of the riddle.
Could they
Fair
make a step
enough.
geographically?
They could, but it's spelled differently, I believe.
What time of day is it?
It's afternoon. Sun's growing low in the sky.
How
Sun's getting real
does
low, big
anyone
guy.
does anyone know how far away Weathertop is?
And now
You're looking at it like a few hundred feet away. You're looking up at it from the shack.
Oh, that's the shit we're underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. I think the dwarf was right. Let's start climbing.
Dwarf never said let's start climbing. Everybody's crediting him with something that Targon said. Hello?
Thanks. I guess I'm the
Mandela
dwarf
effect.
now.
All right, so you guys start heading up towards Almansul.
Is it
Yes.
Yeah, Spitze.
Yeah.
All right. As you draw near, you see massive chunks of quarried stone, half buried in the soil around the hill. Remnants of the great tower's fall. A gust of wind tugs at your cloaks as you stir, and stirs in the grass as you climb. Crows wheel overhead, crying their harsh songs into the sky. The air grows quieter, heavier, the way it does around places touched by old power. The climb is steep, and though not treacherous, it tests your breath and your legs. The hill grows quieter with every step. Birds fall silent. Even the wind seems reluctant to speak up this high. At last, the summit greets you. You crest the final slope and find yourself standing in a wide circular ruin. Walls lie scattered like bones. Moss has claimed most, but the stubborn stone. All but the most stubborn stone. Fuck, I can't fucking read tonight, guys. Time has claimed much, but even in ruin, the place exudes gravitas, a stillness that feels deeper than silence. The foundations of the once great power are still visible. Wide ring-shaped remnants that outline its vast size. Jagged teeth of ancient wall still rise from the earth like broken spears. In the center, sheltered slightly by the tallest stone, lies a cold campfire, long abandoned. Its ashes have long since turned to dust, and only a few scattered stones remain where a traveler once built a ring. Here and there, bones lie half buried in weeds and moss, some animals, some not. Broken blade juts from the ground nearby, rusted to the hilt. Something happened here, though whether it was a year ago or 100 years, it's hard to say. Take it away.
Is it hard to say? I would like to inspect this blade with my jeweler's tools.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check using your jeweler's tools.
Investigation. Just saying it
Everybody
feels like
else,
old lore.
Everybody else, oh, yeah, sure, roll old lore, sure. Everybody
Hell
else think
yeah.
about what you're going to do as Boren's doing this. Yeah, it's been there for a long time. Definitely more than a year. Probably
Add
not
plus
quite
2 to that
100.
if that changes anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't. But yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely been more than a year. Probably not quite 100. But you know the way this blade's rusted, it's been there a long time. Otherwise, there's nothing very special about it. No markings you can make out or engravings or anything.
Okay.
And it's like intact and everything.
Yep.
It's just okay.
What's everybody else doing?
My mind is currently stuck on this riddle, so I'm going to
Same.
be looking for gray walls and some sort of step that never falls.
Okay. So I think that was Lingo that also said same.
I think it was Zimmy.
Was it Zimmy?
No, it was Lingo.
No,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
me. Yeah,
Oh.
I'd be thinking about the riddle as well. The like gate behind the gray walls, I thought meant like gray walls, like gray havens or something. So I think that might all be somehow referring to Weathertop. So I'd be looking for something like the stone made bear, some sort of weird thing like that.
Yeah, both of you roll me perception checks, or anybody that's attempting the same thing can roll me a perception check.
I see nothing.
I see
Holy cow,
pretty
guys.
much nothing.
What about where stars were watched?
We're all seeing nothing.
I see everything.
So my guess is that the first stanza is all describing Weathertop. And then the second stanza is like what we do on Weathertop. We just gotta find, my assumption is we gotta find like where we need to stand and say the
Well, I think seek the step that never falls, and the shadowed gate behind gray walls means we have to be in Weathertop somewhere, and we're seeking some sort of steps.
See, I'm stuck on the moonlight shines on stone made bear.
Yeah, but what
Like-
stone? The whole place is probably made of stone.
So are we not
Yeah,
on
but
Weathertop
stone
right
made
now?
bear.
Well, the
Yes,
made
you are
bear
on
part, I
Weathertop.
think we have to take off whatever's on top of it, because the description said there's a lot of like moss and all that covering the stone. So
So remember, guys, you do have a skill called riddle. If anybody would like to roll a riddle check.
Oh,
let
that's
me
true.
try it.
A stone made bear is probably a stone that's been shaped, right?
Or
That's
stone that's been
what I was
revealed
thinking.
by the destruction of it.
Or weathered. I was kind of thinking,
Okay,
wind can.
Yeah, so you guys can roll riddle checks, but I'm going to back up for a second and cover the perception checks. So you guys kind of fan out, kind of taking in the layout of this tower, looking for walls, secret, a step, a step that never falls, the stone made bear. Freya,
Yes.
as you come to
Whoa. Haha.
I'm sorry. I just remembered. Where is it?
Did you leave something in the oven?
No.
Oh,
Wow.
Was
Hold on,
it
guys.
Cookies?
Give me
Was
a
it
second.
an ice cream cake?
Was it
oh
Stick
my
it
sticky?
God!
in
You don't
there.
put those in the fucking oven turner.
Settle
Oh,
down,
no.
guys. Settle down.
It'll melt.
Let me cook.
You can't cook
Ice
it.
cream.
Like royal some marshmallows on your ice cream cake?
Oh, that sounds fire. But you use like a torch for that, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to use a torch.
Where's the
Can't
fucking
put it-
pipe weed, dude?
Hey.
What just happened?
All right, so you guys are
I'm-
right. We should take an ice cream cake break.
So I'm assuming nobody can see this map.
Nope, I see Boren.
dark. I see darkness, my old friend.
All right, no worries. I don't need him out. I
Okay,
can
so it's
fix
supposed to
this.
be dark this time. I don't need to refresh.
Yeah, you're good for the moment. I'm sorry.
There's me.
I never set this up. I swear I did. I swear I did. But I don't know. I don't know what happened. So configure lighting. Save. How's that?
Oh, there it is.
Whoa. I could see.
Yeah.
It's
So-
Stonehenge.
So Freya, back to you. You guys kind of separate, checking out this tower. Freya, as you approach this north wall here, kind of seeing this stone that catches your eye, seems to be perfectly level, and while everything else around it is cracked and fallen and in ruin, this one doesn't seem to have been touched by time at all. Kind of bend over and brush your hand across the moss on the stone, and your vision shifts. Suddenly, you're standing atop a tower. Not the broken crown of a Mansul, but a great spire of spinning white, shining white, rising high above the clouds. The air is clear here. The sky is impossibly vast, lit with the soft gleam of stars. Below you, the world stretches far and wide. Rivers like silver threads, forests like rippling sea foam. Time folds and unfolds before your eyes. Great battles, quiet moments, kings and wanderers, hope and ruin. Your gaze is drawn to one single thing alone, though. A gleam of starlight caught in silver, an amulet radiant with the soft inner light. Passes from hand to hand, never staying long, always in moments of great need, always in the hands of those who protect others, even when no one sees, to those who walk in shadow but serve the light. Then a man, a ranger cloaked in the gray of the north. Worn by time, strong in silence, his face is rough, marked by wind and hardship, but his eyes are full of purpose. His hair is dark with streaks of silver, pulled back in with a hunter's braid. A short beard lines his jaw. His piercing green eyes are sharp, alert, full of sorrow, but also strength. He is speaking quietly to the amulet as if it can hear him. Then he hides it, carefully, with reverence, tucked inside a leather pouch, pressed to his chest beneath his cloak. You do not know him, and yet something about him tugs at the edge of your memory, a feeling like deja vu. His face stirs something deep within you, like a dream you've had many times but can never quite recall. He looks up, and in that moment, it feels as though he sees you. Then he's gone. And all you're left with is an image. A hill beneath a twisted pine, wind rushing over a stone. A place where the land remembers. A place where something waits. Light returns, and you're standing once again amid the summit of Amansul. The sky is still, the stones are cold, but the memory burns in your mind, clear and sharp. A man you do not know, an amulet, and a feeling in your chest that it's meant for you. Carry on. I'm going to send that to you also.
Okay. Good. I'll stop filling up my biography.
Yeah, you're looking down at this stone that, as I said, seems to be untouched by time.
I would point it out to the others and say I think I found something.
Hmm.
And let the big
I'd walk
brains look
over.
at it.
Does it help looking at it with my nat 20 riddle check?
Okay, so riddle checks. Bum, bum, bum.
Checks don't even matter in this game, dude.
So,
Wow.
only one of you met the check. That's going to be Killian. Pick one thing about the riddle, and I will give you a hint.
Ooh.
Pick the right thing. Can you choose the whole riddle as one thing?
So, one thing about the riddle.
So
Yeah.
what do you guys think? I'm thinking
The riddle part?
Thinking either the shadowed gate or the hidden path.
I'd say the stone, but that's me. We already know, or maybe the last line through the flame. Like I'm pretty sure the name is Elendil. Yeah, I don't know. What's
Yeah.
everyone else thinking?
Well, I feel like the step that never falls is what Freya found, right? But that also kind of feels like the stone made bare. So I'm thinking either hidden path reveals the stair or through the flame unveil the law.
Hmm.
I'm thinking hidden flame because that's our next step. We can't get through the flame until we find the path. So
What time of day is it?
Late afternoon.
we probably haven't even gotten to the stone yet.
Or it's just not time for the stone yet?
Yeah.
Hmm. I'll do the hidden path.
So when moonlight shines on stone made bare, the hidden path reveals the stair. That's what you want a clue on?
Oh, hold on. It's both those lines.
Yeah. All right.
So I can
Kinda
assume
want-
all these are in lines of two.
Yeah, pick a bar, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's
You get-
kind of together.
Rap genius.
Yeah, read a book, Richard.
That's what you
Fuck.
want?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so that line seems to be pointing to a specific time that you need to be here, and if you're here at the right time, the moonlight would possibly reveal the stone. And if you do this in the right combination, the hidden path will be to the chamber will be revealed. However, there's still something else that comes after that that you need to do to be able to actually access it.
So just finding it, we won't be able to access it. It's that next line, and then we can use the path.
Right. So it in order to be able to find it, you're going to have to be here at the right time. And then you're going to have to, whatever this next part is, like it's saying, speak the name of he who saw and through the flame unveil the law. So you don't know what that part means. So, but you know, you guys have figured out the beginning part of it, where you are, the step that never falls. Now you're at the part where this is pointing to you have to be here at a certain time, and then you have to do something to be able to access this place. You won't even be able to see the entrance unless you do something. Speak the name of he who saw.
Well, I have an idea. Since Freya just told us he had this vision, she had this vision. I say we speak Freya's name.
Yeah.
Did Freya tell you that she just had this vision?
Yes, I would have told them.
What are you telling them?
Pretty much just said I had a really weird vision when I came across this stone just now, and kind of tell them that like I feel like it was somebody that I knew or knew of. The figure was very familiar, even though I can't think of who it could be.
What did he look like?
Whatever you said he looked like.
He look like a man.
Hell yeah. Do you even listen to the DM when he talks, dude?
Yeah.
Killian.
Well, a ranger. I mean, I would say a ranger. Yes, cloaked in gray. I was like, man, I know there was something about gray, but then I was like, the gray walls. No, he wouldn't have made the cloak and the walls gray. But he
I'm
did.
picturing a sick
Killian.
beard.
Killian, this ranger that he seems to be describing sounds a whole
Oh,
lot
yeah.
like a ranger you know.
Hair is dark with streaks of silver, pulled back at a hunter's braid.
Sounds a lot like
Piercing
a
green
ranger I
eyes.
know.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like a ranger you know.
Is he a warden?
He is.
Uh,
It's Killian himself.
Dun, dun,
Not,
dun.
it's not Killian, but it sounds a whole lot like Kalen.
Who's Kalen?
really?
Yeah, who's your friend, Killian?
Really, really.
Sounds sounds like you're describing my father. What would he have to do with your vision? You're sure that's what you saw?
Do I recognize the name Kalen?
You do not.
Outside of him possibly saying, that was his dad's name or something? Okay.
No, you do not.
Are all the Rangers Numenor?
Yes. All descendants of the Numenorians. AKA the Dunedain, AKA Rangers of the North.
All the Rangers in the party, I mean. They're all Dunedain?
Yeah.
Okay.
The through the flame part might be setting up a fire here in the middle.
Right, I could set a fire in my pipeweed if you like that too.
Well, it says
How
when
about
moonlight
both?
shines on stone made bare, so I think it would be best if we didn't have any light obstructing to where moonlight could show this at any given
mean, look,
time.
we at least have to wait until nighttime, so we got some time to chill. And then if that doesn't work, then we can start a fire or something. But I am interested in that fire in Zimmy's pipe, though.
Yeah, I mean, a small fire like that's fine.
Well, I'm thinking that the fire might actually be the last part. Speak the name of who we saw through the flame, unveil the law.
Hell yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
is
I
it-
mean, yeah, we should do the steps in order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we definitely should do the steps in order, but we don't know how much time we're going to have, so we might as well try to figure out each step. And then, when the first one comes, we'll at least have an idea of where we're going with it.
So it sounds like a dwarf door, which or whatever they're called, which can only be seen
lingo.
like.
Yeah, roll me an old lore check.
Oof.
Yeah,
Okay,
continue.
How many?
Hold
how
on.
many fellowship
Hold
points
on.
we got?
Hold on, Lingo. You get
Yeah.
something.
Oh, I get something.
Yeah. Look
What
at
do
your
I
shit,
get?
dude.
What am I forgetting?
It's not my character.
You're the one telling me.
Double your normal
Okay.
proficiency bonus.
So
Is
when
that
it's
what it
talking,
is?
when it's talking about flame, I don't think it's talking about an actual fire, because the beginning of it is beneath the crown of broken flame. So that's got to be some kind of faction.
Well,
So
hold up. Let
whatever
me
this,
finish. Let me finish my thought real quick. I'm double the old lore. Is that what this is?
You
So
double
you
your
become
proficiency
proficient
bonus.
and you get to double the proficiency. So you're gonna add 4 to your check there,
Be a 10.
which doesn't help. Never mind.
You can reroll
Okay.
it if you want, or just continue. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll it. +4, whatever this is. UG.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know how that affects what I was gonna say, but it sounds like a fucking dwarf door, which can only be seen during the moonlight.
Well, we have a dwarf. Maybe the dwarf can explain it to us.
Maybe he could. Old
I'm
lore
gonna look
check.
for him.
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
So you would add to that elves actually have very similar magic, and this kind of sounds like uh, a door of ancient elven make.
Yeah, I'm gonna share that with the party. And I'm gonna be very condescending towards the elf when I say that.
I need
I
to
can't
hear it
believe
in
he doesn't know
character.
that.
I want to hear the inflection in Bourne's voice.
Blame the dwarf, right? Seems like you'd know about an elven door.
Well, I'm glad I could jog your memory by reminding you about dwarven doors. And I sort of bat my eyelids.
So, guys, about the flame, I don't think it's talking about an
Was
actual
it a dwarven
fire.
door or an elven door?
God damn it.
Yeah, tell us about the flame, dude.
Killian, carry on, dude.
Sorry, I interrupted.
You're good.
So, guys, about the flame.
It is the crown of broken flames.
Take it away, Killian.
So about the flame, I don't think it's talking about an actual fire, because in the beginning it talks about beneath the crown of broken flame, which to me sounds like some kind of faction or a kingdom of what, like, maybe they would have had as their symbol, a flame, and
The Fire
maybe,
Kingdom.
and maybe that's what's on this door that this moonlight's going to show us. And when we speak the name, the gate or the door will open.
Not that I'm a very old lore strong character, but would I know anything about any broken flame faction or like symbol?
So both of you can roll me actually, any of the rangers here can roll me a old lord check.
Oh, I'm super good at those.
Yeah, so am I. +0.
Yeah, so I'd say Killian, you would thinking about this, you would get the most of it put together. It could mean, a few different things. A crown signifies something regal or a place of high power, symbol of leadership or sovereignty. The broken flame, you're getting the idea like a light that fell, a place of luminescence that once stood watch over the lands that has fallen. So like putting it together, these ideas of these old ranger ideas of you get the idea that the crown of broken flame could just be talking about this place, a place of high power, of regal significance that has fallen, that has been broken. You know, the light that was there, that that was once there, has fallen.
Okay. I'll relay all that to the party.
Makes sense.
And elves as well, as he's saying this, calling a place like this the crown of broken flame would fit with the old poetic uh song type uh culture from the elves as well. Like, you get a feeling that, the lingo, you get a feeling that the people who built this, probably had some pretty close elven ties.
Okay, so I think we just need to wait till nightfall and then start trying to open the door.
Yep.
All right, so you guys gonna wait up here and just wait till nightfall? Anybody doing anything specific? Or just skip forward?
Well, hold on. Going back to my lore check that I should have followed up on earlier. What exactly do I know about elf dwarves? Like, are there any like telltale signs minus the moonlight?
Yeah, you would know that, much like dwarven doors, unless you meet the specific criteria for uh, how to see the door and how to open the door once you see it, like it's finding a needle in a haystack. You're not going to be able to locate this thing without, following the steps of this riddle.
Okay. Uh, then yeah. Uh, yeah, I would have nothing to do but wait then.
All right, I think I heard somebody else start to speak. I'm not sure who it was.
I was just asking if this would be considered a short rest.
Yeah, you could take a short rest. I don't think you've used anything since you've been awake today, but sure.
I'd bust out some of my old Toby and start packing it up in my pipe, seeing if anybody wanted to partake while we waited.
Yeah, I'll partake.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yes.
better going on. Boren would take a couple puffs.
Yup.
All right.
Zimmy, would you
anybody-
partake?
Sleep. Rolling dice.
You said this was a short rest or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you guys have done anything since.
Yeah,
you've
why are
been
people
awake.
rolling hit die?
Yeah,
I need to get my
like-
spell slots back.
We never took a long rest after the fight.
yeah. It's been that was 6 days ago.
Yeah, but we can only take long rests inside of a secure
Yeah.
area. We haven't been in a secure area.
Right. Well, this isn't a long rest though. Like, you can't. This isn't a secure area either. Like, you have to be in a town for that.
Yeah, he's rolling hit dice because it's a short rest.
It's a short rest.
We got a short rest last night, though. I think is what Turner was saying.
Yeah.
We-
So if you haven't taken
Yeah,
one
but then
since
we
that
leveled up.
combat, yeah. So if you haven't taken one since that combat, like, sure, go ahead. And I guess, yeah, that does make sense. You guys did level up, and
Yeah, that's why I had one hit die and half HP.
so, yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll skip forward in time, going from late afternoon to watching the sun set in the west to the moon rise and get start to light up the summit. Looking at the moon, you notice it's about little less than a quarter moon. As the moonlight starts to filter in, everybody roll me a perception check. All right, anybody who rolled 12 or higher would notice on the northern wall, right above where this pillar or where the stone is that Freya found, partially covered in moss, you can see make it back to the right spot. So partially covered by moss on the wall behind the step, you can see an inscription that's being illuminated by the moonlight. Nothing magical, it seems, but just the moonlight hitting it at this certain angle is kind of drawing your eyes to it.
Can we reveal what it says? Or reveal it so we can try to read it?
Sure. Anybody who's trying to read it, roll me an investigation check.
I'm not good at those.
I would actually like to use inspiration on mine.
All right. So we have a 20, an 8, a 12, a 10, and an 11. So, Boren, you lean closer to this wall. It's very, very hard to make out. The stone is kind of chipped in places. The letters are old and weathered, and it's really hard to tell what it actually says, and it doesn't appear to be in a language that you read.
I use an
Anything anybody
inspiration for that.
anything anybody could do to maybe bring the letters out?
Could I walk up and like clear the moss off of it and stuff?
Yeah. The moss has been cleared off of it. You guys brushed the moss and the dirt away, but like looking at the letters themselves, they like I said, the stone is very weathered and chipped, and it's really hard to make out. Is there anything anybody could do to bring the letters out?
Shouldn't we speak the name, Kalen?
Name
I
isn't
don't think we're at
Kalen.
that point yet.
I'm gonna pull
Zimmy,
out
you
my
have
torch
paper
and light
and
it.
something to write with, right?
Isn't Lingo the one with all the parchments and pens?
If you're speaking to the elf, I'm over here. Yeah, I have a lot of paper. I have a lot of paper and stuff. I could put the paper or the parchment over the letters and like scribble over it, make stencils. I tried on one letter to see if it works.
Yeah, you put it up there, and it does start to be able to the first letter of it appears to be a K.
Okay. I'd do it for the rest of it then.
All right. I'm going to post in chat what you reveal.
Caitlin was here.
What up, dog?
I hope it says Borin and lingo forever.
Yowza.
Can any of us read that language?
Would I be able to tell what language that is?
Anybody proficient in old lore or any of the rangers here can roll me an old lore check.
GG. Mine's +4 again, but you know.
You know,
Freya.
let's use an instant.
Can I use my jeweler's tools for this?
No. Okay, so Freya, Borin, and Targon. Well, although none of you know this language or can read it, seeing the structure of the language itself, it appears to be that of a Duniac, the ancient lost language of the Numenorians.
I am going to go ahead.
Yeah, as far as you know, this language has been lost for thousands of years. Nobody speaks it anymore.
Is there a way that we would know like how to decipher it? Like, is there a Rosetta Stone somewhere, like an old scroll or something that would say like, "Oh, here's the letters."
I'm gonna try.
I'm just gonna try to pronounce it. Like,
I'm gonna try, since we're trying to figure out all the shit with this magic door. I'm going to light my torch and kind of hover it above it.
All right. Targon, roll me a performance check.
well, this is gonna go great.
You bite your tongue as you're trying to pronounce these very foreign words that nobody's heard spoken in thousands of years.
I want to try.
Yeah, me too. I'll let you go first, though.
You don't hurt yourself like Targon did, but it still sounds like jumbled nonsense. Completely foreign to all of your ears. Same with you, Lingo.
No pathway or anything of the sort has been revealed by this moonlight.
Yeah, seems that from what you can tell, the moonlight has revealed this.
Does the torch do anything?
It just lights it up. It makes it a little easier to
Hell yeah.
see in the moonlight.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
When moonlight shines on stone made bare, the hidden path reveals the stair.
Looking from this place, do we see a path?
Roll me a perception check.
I literally asked that. You didn't offer me a perception check.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Anybody who wants to can roll me a perception check.
Well, I kind of don't on principle now.
Right, I'm the
sorry,
one who thought of it.
Well, you asked if like a door or something, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
He did answer you without a check.
So is that everybody who's going to roll?
Yeah.
Lingo, with your 22, you do not see any stairs or paths or anything like that.
So maybe it's, maybe the hidden path is like figurative. Maybe these words are the hidden path that reveal the stair.
Huh.
Killian's torch is above it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab his hand and lower it so I'm looking through the flame at this. Does it change at
Okay.
all?
It just makes it a little harder to see through the flickers of the light.
I would like to feel
Somebody speak to
on.
me.
All right, never mind.
Go ahead, Born.
Sorry.
I would like to feel on and around the stone for any sort of like pressure switch or anything of the sort.
Sure. Roll me. I'd allow you to use your jeweler's tools for this with a check if you can make an argument for it.
I mean, I guess I would use it to kind of uh investigate the stone for like any sort of like notches, crevices, anything of that sort, indentations other than the etchings on it.
All right. So roll me investigation using your jeweler's tools. So investigation check with whatever proficiency your jeweler's tools gives you as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start listing off names.
Kind of names. You don't find any kind of switches or pressure plates or anything.
Okay.
Most of this place is in crumbles, but for some reason though, almost kind of mysteriously, magically maybe this one stone here and this one wall here are still standing.
So the first name I'm gonna say is Killian.
Nothing happens.
I would speak
All right.
Kalen.
Nothing happens.
Kalen.
I'd speak
Right,
Elendil.
Then I'll
Nothing
say
happens.
Freya, daughter of Thora.
Nothing happens.
Ah.
So anybody
Well,
who wants to that is like, kind of involved in this, or even, Zimmy, you're kind of just watching everybody do this. Like anybody who wants to roll me a intelligence or a riddle check. Just you can use straight intelligence or roll a riddle check, whichever one you
Well,
want.
and you said there was an unbroken wall. Is that the gray wall?
I don't know.
Kind of feel like all these walls are gray.
Is it the wall? Is it the same wall where the message was revealed?
Yes. So this wall right here, this hunk of stone right here, is the weathered wall where the stone is, and the step is right below it. The one that I was saying that seems to be untouched by time. That's right below it here. So Boren,
Big boy riddle checks over here.
watching everybody, listening to everybody go back and forth and kind of throwing ideas around, calling out names and stuff, trying to put this together. You get the idea. You're gonna have to decipher this second part somehow. Like what Lingo said about, maybe the hidden path is this second part to the riddle. That kind of struck an idea with you, and you get the idea that you're gonna have to decipher this somehow.
Decipher the second half of the riddle or decipher this dead language here?
This dead language part.
Okay.
This dead language seems to be a second part to the riddle.
Okay. It's weird that
So-
all the punctuation's the same, but the language is different.
So if I try uh either like reading the words backwards or I forget what you call it, where you like take a letter and put it at the end, like shift a letter down. Is there anything like that that makes it like legible for me?
Not that you can tell. You kind of, pull out a piece of paper. You're playing with the letters, and you can't make sense of it, like that.
Okay.
Like the ranger said, that this is some kind of this is a language, but just nobody speaks it anymore.
Hmm.
You know a really old guy in town though.
We need a goddamn fucking wizard.
Son of a bitch.
Ah,
I ring my Gandalf come here bell.
dude, so we
Nice
do this to
try.
go all the way back, to come all the way back. GG, dude. All right. Is that where we're at, guys?
Yep,
I mean, did
sounds
Gandalf
like
tell
it.
us anything? Did Gandalf tell us anything about, you know, did he just say he's going to be there? Did he say he has plans to travel? Any way to get a hold of him? Anything like that that anybody remembers?
I think he was hanging out to do something for Boren, and
So he did say he was leaving. I don't think he's told you guys to where, but he said he was going to see a friend about the ledger and somebody who likes riddles, and he was also going to look into Boren's map. And he told you he would meet you back in Bree in a couple of weeks. And that couple of weeks is a couple days from now.
There's also that really
Back
old
we
looking ranger we
go.
saw back at the Prancing Pony, too.
Actually, 2 weeks exactly would be today.
Okay, well, Lingo would definitely have this dead language. Well, he already, I already stenciled it in, but I would definitely like have it written out as well.
Yeah, you got it written. You're pretty confident of a legible copy of and a accurate translation of what is on the wall.
I mean, unless anybody, can somehow randomly speak a dead language. Anybody else got any ideas?
I
I
guess
thought reading
back
it
to
would do
Bree it
something.
is.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Where is it?
Lingo would walk over to Boren as if to follow him.
So, are you guys gonna spend the night on the tower or leave, or what are you doing?
What should we do with this dagger thing? Just let it chill, or
What, the sword that we found impaled in the ground?
oh, is that what it was? Impaled? Yeah.
And
I mean,
there's no name on the sword.
No, Boren looked at it and it's pretty much rusted all the way through. It looks like if you were to even try to pull it up out of the two stones that it's wedged between, it would likely just break.
I reckon it's all yours, Lingo.
Hmm. Maybe we should just leave it then.
We're just gonna leave it.
It's like you finish my sentences. Okay,
Yeah,
set
so
up
I think
here or take off or
Before we leave, can there's this like a staircase up here, right? Like down there. Can I go investigate that?
Oh, my bad. My fucking mic was. Sure. What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm thinking of the riddle still, so I'm looking for any hidden path.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
Yeah, no, never mind.
Oh yeah, crushing
Yeah,
it.
it's a long climb up and down, and kind of getting out of breath, but you don't find anything. Anybody else doing anything specific?
Is there any?
Um,
I can't move. Oh, game's currently paused. So, like, on the other side of the wall, like, can I see anything?
No, nothing. It's just a wall.
Okay.
Weathered, much like the front, but without any kind of writing.
so you
Can I
said
try
these are.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Good, Killian.
You said these are stairs?
Yes.
So what if we. I'm assuming this is like a place for a fire.
Yeah, that's the very old campfire that I described in the beginning. The stones have kind of been scattered around. The nothing but dust in the middle. Very old
So
remnants of a campfire.
I'm going to light that and then go to the stairs and see what I can see over here. Whether it's something on this or behind the wall.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get a direct angle from the stairs to that, but you don't make out anything, and you don't notice anything special.
Fuck!
So you said that this is like there's the wall and then the step in front of it, like seemingly untouched by time.
Yep,
Could I stand on that step
sure.
and um, speak the name Ellendale? See if anything happens.
Yeah, and as you do, roll me a riddle check.
Oh shit.
Guys, I fucked every one of these red checks.
We have
Ooh,
fellow.
There it is.
Hell yeah.
So as you do this, you have a strong feeling that this is part of the what you need to do, but as you do it, nothing happens,
ooh.
and you get the idea like maybe it's not the right time. There's something else to it, but you get the strong idea that this is part of it.
Okay, I'd relay that to everybody.
Maybe he has to look through the flame. He doesn't have a flame in front of him.
Well, standing on the step and looking through the flame, I mean,
Yeah, it sounds like we have to wait exactly 12 days, which is the time it would take us to get back Gandalf. Come
12
back.
days. Or maybe maybe the moon, it's not the right moon. Or
Yeah.
maybe we need to say the name in that old language. I don't know if his name would be different. But maybe it is.
All good points.
Try Kalen too.
All
I'd
right.
speak the name Kalen.
I believe Freya did that, and it didn't
Yeah.
work.
While standing on the step.
Well, so back to your riddle check. Specifically the part of let me get back to the riddle here so I can give you the exact line. Speak the name of he who saw. Like you get the idea that he who saw, like who was the one that used these Palantir and saw, like the you're on the right path. Like the name Elendil fits that part of the riddle. Like he's the one that built this place. He's the one that set the seeing stone here. and speaking the name of the one who saw, like you get the idea that's talking about the one who used this
Try do a
Palantir.
day.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Or
else
one of
I
the
can
other
tell you to tell.
the other names that we have.
I don't know what else I can tell you guys to tell you that Lingo has the right name.
So who could it be?
Try Borin.
That's it. We win.
All right, guys. He really wants us to go back to Bree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
sleeping for the night? Get ahead, Board.
I mean, how far down the mountain is it? If we're being real, how far of a climb was it for us to get up there and from the shack?
Oh, it was only, not even 30 minutes. Like it
Oh,
wasn't,
so
like I said, it wasn't treacherous. Or very long. It was just steep, and
okay,
really, you got to kind of. It takes a lot to climb these steps.
okay.
Well, it's
So
also we're pretty protected up here, so
yeah, but I mean, we're 30
the
minutes from
skeletons.
a decent bed.
Yeah, a decent bed.
Are you
Dibs.
gonna be fighting over the bed?
Boren's gonna begin
Dibs in the
racing
bed with
down
Boren?
to the bed.
Okay, Board's heading for the bed.
Zimmy's gonna sleep under the kitchen table.
Yeah, so mind you guys, this was a very, very small shack. Like it's built to be like Killian would know, like being a very similar to this ranger. Uh, these shacks are built to be out of the way and kind of unnoticeable and meant to not desecrate the ruin any further. Like this ranger stayed here and protected this place.
Yeah.
He didn't stay up here because he didn't want to disturb it anymore, So like his spot
Yeah.
is just supposed to be little tiny out of the way, tucked off in the corner where he can keep a watch on the place, and that's it.
Quit drilling. You struck oil, dude. Boren is maintaining.
All right, Bourne's heading down for the bed.
Would we all be able to fit in the shed?
No. Even sleeping on the floor, like there just wouldn't be enough room unless you're piled on top of each other.
Fuck it,
Okay.
I'm staying up here. I'm staying on
Boren's
the
already
watchtower.
going.
Yeah, Bourne's
Yeah.
committed.
All right, I'm gonna follow Boren.
All right, two are going to the
Slumber
shed.
party.
Then I'm gonna light the fire here. Or no, it's already lit. So yeah, I'm just gonna go lay down next to the fire.
Same.
Yeah. I'll hang out
All
here.
right.
I'm an elf and I run faster and have longer legs, so I get to the bed first.
I don't know if
So,
that's true. What's your move speed?
and Bourne had a head start on you too.
And Bourne has bonus action and action dash.
Statement still
Yeah.
stands.
So, you guys that are staying up here on Weathertop, kind of being in the remnants of this old place and thinking about all these the names of all these people, Elendil and the ancient Numenorians, and all of you roll me a lore check, an old lore check.
Was that just the people who stayed up top?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
Who do
my
we got?
inspiration.
All right. Freya, Zimmy. Okay, there we go.
Hell yeah. Glad I used
All
inspiration.
right. Zimmy, I am going to send you a DM.
DM from the DM.
Thinking about all these ancient stories that you've heard of, this one pops into mind. Feel free to recite it.
Gilgalad was an elven king, of him the harpers sadly sing. The lass whose realm was fair and free between the mountains and the sea. His sword was long, his lance was keen, his shining helm was afar was seen. The countless stars of heaven's field were mirrored in his silver shield. But long ago he rode away, where he dwelleth none can say, for into darkness fell his star in Mordor where shadows are.
Yeah, all of you hearing Zimmy reciting this poem about this ancient elven king that fell nobody knows where or how, y'all gain a point of inspiration. And the night comes and passes without incident. Next morning comes, everybody can take a short rest if you need, and we're traveling back to Bree, I assume?
Yes.
Alright. So,
Lingo,
was
was there
Sorry,
something
go
you
ahead.
wanted to say to Boren or anything through the night? We kind of just skipped over our thing.
We did. I'm sorry, guys.
Did you have a
I just-
motive, or do you just follow Boren? Is that like your thing?
I have to ask, which one of you is the little spoon?
Yeah,
Well,
how did you guys sleep in there?
I would have pressed to be the big spoon. You know, not to make it an elf dwarf thing, but I feel like, you know, comfort wise, big
Size
spoon
matters.
elf,
Sure.
little spoon dwarf, you know?
Boren would have shared the bed, but it would have been a butt to butt situation.
Yeah, and so while the
Linga would have
space
rolled
is
over in the middle of the night.
yeah,
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
while the space in here is very tight, this bed was made for a couple. Eldor did live here with his wife at one point, and she is buried out there under the tree next to him. Though there is enough room for two people, although it is tight. You're
We could
you're
just
not
stay
sleeping
here.
not sleeping on top of each other, but you're kind of touching each other throughout the night in a completely normal way.
Quote unquote. I'd share a ration with Boren if he'd, you know, wanted it.
Yeah, I
He
could
was
ration.
tired. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not at the same time.
what did you get for food earlier, Targon?
I still think we have some of that
Fair.
bear meat or whatever.
Yeah, that would be kind of too old to eat at this point.
Yeah, it's like 3 days old, dude.
Yeah, that's about
Oh.
6 days old. No, that's
Oh,
even
ew,
older.
dude.
Yeah. The Shadow Stalkers were 6 days, so that would have been like 7 days ago.
Guess I'm gonna have to go hunting then.
Yeah, no. This is just completely thematic. You're the hunter of the group. That's your daily job.
Yeah.
You go out and find food. Unless we roll a mishap for you on the journey phase, like it's
I'll
just
bring back a
assumed.
few rabbits.
Okay, so everybody has some nice rabbit for dinner.
So I'd see if Boren wants to munch on my rabbit a bit.
Did we stay for rabbit? I'm pretty
Phrasing?
sure we just left.
Yeah, no, it would have been divided up. Everybody would have got their
Okay.
portions.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'd roast rabbit. I suppose I'd talk, or I'll engage in the conversation. Stolingo, what brought you to Gandalf?
I was seeking information for a few different stories that I'm working on, and they all kind of pointed to Gandalf and a Hobbit. So, how about you?
Well, as you know, he's helping me find something that was taken from me.
What kind of something?
Well, I don't want to share too much, but
We're already
a
sharing this
map.
bed, buddy. You could share more.
It's a map.
Oh, really?
A map to a treasure with significant importance, or with sentimental importance to me.
Interesting. There's not a lot of maps out there, I feel, that just lead to sentimental importance. Sentimental to you?
Yes.
Or to everybody?
It's important to me personally.
Hmm. Well, I'd sure like to know what that was someday. Maybe I could help you.
Well, if Gandalf can help me with this riddle, I will likely need a team to help me find this treasure.
Yeah, I'd love to, help you find stuff as a team and stuff. It sounds super fun.
And what do you make of the others?
I like the Hobbit. He's got all sorts of pipe weed. Everyone else, they seem like good guys and gals.
Do you think the halfling's cut for a journey of this magnitude?
I mean, he's just as fresh to journey as I am, and I don't think either of us have faltered yet.
He seems more timid than the rest. Less familiar with battle.
Well, one thing I know is that halflings will always surprise you.
Out of character, sounds like he's quoting someone. Yes, I hope you're right. I like the lad, and I'd hate to see him perish.
Whoa. Why would he perish? He'll be okay, as long as he's with us. You seem really concerned about this hobbit.
Well, as I said, I'm going to need a team. I simply want to make sure that anyone I ask is up to it.
I don't think you need to worry about the hobbit. But I will say that if you do eventually ask me and us to be on your team, I'd like to think that you'd trust us enough to at least tell us what you're searching for.
Well, should the day come that we begin searching, then of course I would tell you what we're searching for.
Sounds good.
But the last person I told took the map from me. Therefore, I dare not share it with another I don't trust.
Well, I can assure you the types of treasure I'm after are mostly intellectual. It's good stories that I seek.
Oh, well, my treasure is every story ever told. Damn it.
Well, I've got a good story planned for this treasure.
Well, perhaps this treasure will feed your stories.
Perhaps. You said you're cool with being the little spoon, though, right?
Butt to butt. And I'm going to roll over and begin to go to sleep.
Wait, you're
Can
rolling
I-
over? So were you guys huddled up, like face to face?
We were like face
Talking
to
this whole
face,
time?
yeah.
Oh, that
I thought
is
we were like
adorable.
under the coveys, like, flashlight. No.
So yeah, we were like laid across at the end of the bed with like
Laid.
our like
On your
feet up.
bellies with your legs
and-
kicked up?
Yep.
Yeah, our legs kicked up and our like hands under our chins while we're talking to each other.
You guys come in like, why does it smell like nail polish? I'd like to roll
Right.
a performance check. No.
All right, so you guys go to sleep all cuddled up next to each other. Morning comes.
Butt to butt.
Sure
cuddled
thing. So
You don't have to
morning
correct him.
comes, and you guys set out for Bree. Takes about 3.5 days to get there, and on the 4th day, the midday sun hangs high as you approach the west gate of Bree. Familiar cobblestone paths are dry and warm. Chatter of town folk drifting lazily through the air alongside the clop of hooves and the rattle of carts. As you approach the wooden arch of the gate, you notice a familiar face, Aldrich Holt, standing there talking to two soldiers. He seems to be giving them orders. They turn and walk away. He looks up at you and says, "Ah, well now, back in one piece. How was your hunt?" He raises his eyebrows, kind of clearly not expecting a tale about a deer.
Well, we met and lost an acquaintance. Other than that, it went well.
I see. Well, sure you'll want to clean up and rest, but the mayor wants a word soon. Wants to thank you for your work in Archet. Um, I'll find you at the inn after a few hours and take you to the mayor.
Well, one more thing.
Of course.
The man who perished was a ranger who had taken watch among Weathertop. With his passing, Weathertop will be left unguarded.
And unfortunately, that's not something us wardens usually take to doing, guarding old ruins like that. We usually stick to guarding, towns and where the people are. We'll.
Oh, is that dude not a ranger? I thought you had said that dude was a ranger for some reason.
No, he is captain of the Breland Wardens.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, wardens and rangers are a little different. Like, being a warden doesn't necessarily mean you're a ranger. Wardens are like
Gotcha.
kind of police,
Oh,
Park ranger.
all the
Guards.
wardens I met are rangers. Just
Yeah,
saying.
so
All right then. My bad.
no worries, no worries. So meet you at the inn after a few hours.
Fair enough.
All right, then. He kind of gives you a nod and spins on his heel and turns and heads the other way. You guys heading straight to the Prancing Pony? Or anywhere else you'd like to go first?
Shoot, there is somewhere else I wanted to go.
Is there a leather worker in town?
There is.
I'd
You
like
can
to
find
stop
just
by
about
the
any.
leather worker. I'd
Find
like to
just
stop
about
by
any
the
kind
leather
of.
worker
Yeah, you can find just about any
and
kind of
drop off
craftsman.
my bear pelt. See if you can make a cloak out of it.
All right, Boren, what were you talking about?
I want some woodcarver tools or whatever the tool is for that.
All right, so I will say now that we're back in Bree, you guys will be having a fellowship phase where you can go and buy any kind of stuff like this, as long as you're not trying to have like a meaningful interaction with the merchants or anything like that. If we're just going to do transactions and stuff, I'd suggest we save that for the fellowship phase.
Okay.
And
All right.
if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I was kind of hoping to seduce the woodcarver for a better deal, but okay.
I have like 8 boar pelts. What are we doing with those? Are we just selling them?
Make yourself a cool cloak out of them.
Or no, I have 4 boar tusks and 4 boar pelts.
Hell yeah.
'Cause somebody just had to have the tusks.
And you have the grade noted, right?
Yep. 1 fine, 2 good, 1 damaged for the pelts, and then 2 good, 2 damaged for the tusks.
All right.
So
But
yeah,
yeah,
then I guess Born would just go to the tavern then.
Yeah, so again with that Lala, Freya, I would suggest that's something we could also do during the fellowship phase. Any kind of merchant any kind of merchant transaction like that.
Okay.
Lore Master says, "Hey, anything you guys want to do before you go to the bar?"
Yeah. So keep in mind right now, you guys are fresh in off the road. You've been traveling for 2 weeks. You probably want to get something to eat. Get a hot meal.
Yeah.
Get this road grime off of you.
Yeah.
The selling of mundane items and stuff like that, probably wouldn't be top priority right now. But just
Yeah.
for the sake of the game, and expediency, I would suggest we do that during the fellowship phase.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and head to the Prancing Pony. You approach it. So again, if there's anything else like social interaction wise, you want to meet somebody and have a meaningful interaction with them, the adventuring phase, the part we're in right now, is the time to do that. So if
Okay.
you guys want to meet new people, any kind of interactions with existing people, like that's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, meaningful interactions are now, not later, because I thought you said it first. Wait on that. Like, unless
Right. So the fellowship phase, that's supposed to be a glance over time where we're not going to be having like meaningful social interactions with people. We're not going to be meeting new people. You have the undertakings that you can do, but otherwise it's kind of mundane time. Kind of you're spent healing and relaxing, and if we're building stuff for the story, if we're having interactions that are going to build to the story, we should do that during the adventuring phase time, which is now.
Okay.
okay.
All right, so everybody good to head to the inn, or anything anybody wants to do?
I think I'm good.
Are there any rangers in town that I could go to and let them know of? Dude, I feel like a piece of shit. I don't remember dude's name. He died for us.
Taco John.
Eldor?
Oh, there you go.
Eldor, yes.
Not that you're aware of offhand. You could search for one, but not that you're aware of.
Aren't they in
Okay,
our
yeah. Could I
party,
search
though?
for one then?
Sure. Would you just like to search for one on the way to the inn, or are you kind of wandering around town searching for one?
No, yeah. We'll just do it on the way.
All right.
See if...
Roll me a perception check on the way to the inn.
Actually, could I just ask somebody at the inn?
Sure.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just ask the tavern master.
All right. So, as you approach the inn, its familiar green and gold sign hanging from the roof, the smell of roasted meats and ales hits your nose as you enter the door. Dining area looks much as it always does. The familiarity gives you a sense of comfort, a sense of like almost home. Butterbur is busy as usual behind the bar. He looks up and says, "Ah, you made it back. Please come in. What can I do for you?"
Well, I suppose we're gonna need room and board again.
All right. Would you like the weekly deal again? I've heard what you guys
Please.
did in our chat. Word's spreading. Gonna offer you the special deal. Five silver off the price, so 20 silver.
Much appreciated.
No worries.
I was wondering, do you happen to know of any rangers in town? Or even near town?
They don't usually stay in town. They pass through every once in a while. I haven't seen one lately, though. Anything in particular you like a message passed on, or you looking for somebody in particular?
Well, I would save this message perhaps for only the ears of a ranger, but the ranger who was watching Weathertop has perished,
I see.
and thus one may want to replace him. I don't know how
see.
rangering works. out of character, by the way. Like, it seemed important what he was doing, right? Like, would other rangers even care, or they'd be like, "Fuck
So-
Weathertop"?
You care to explain this to him, Killian?
So it sounded like it was kind of like his clan, which would probably be like his family or something, that were entrusted to watching that location.
Yeah, but not just that. Like, what do you do, and why do you do it? What did you do, and why did you do it?
So Killian watched over the areas in Arthedain, like the ruins of Fornost and Anuminous, to protect the ruins and try to keep what is still remaining there.
Okay.
It's sacred to us.
Well, that feels similar to what Eldor was doing, but it's so rangers. Their duty is typically personal. Then
Yes,
it's a
exactly.
place that is okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so nobody's probably even gonna give a shit about this Weathertop thing. And
Exactly. It's an
This ranger's
ancient,
just
forgotten.
letting me walk around like a dick.
Yeah, it's an ancient, forgotten place that very, very few people know the significance of, and even fewer care. You know.
All right.
Oh, you didn't bring it up to me. You're like, I'm
I mean,
looking
I
for
feel
a
like it was
ranger,
brought up in
and
front of you.
Was it in front of me?
That's why I prompted you to kind of explain it, so I didn't have to.
Okay then. Jeez, dude. Is that why those fucking ring wraiths just fucking attacked everybody? There was like nobody there watching anymore.
Interesting.
Like, yo, dude, we're already having effect on the main story. Yeah, that's all I had then. My bad.
Well, I'll let the next ranger know that comes through.
As soon as I walk through, he tells me.
Yeah, you guys are there when Boren says this, so he's obviously not talking about the three of you. Boren isn't looking for the three of you. So I assume you guys head off to your rooms, get cleaned up, get a hot meal. Anything in particular?
I would have asked him about Gandalf. Is Gandalf around?
Gandalf. No, I haven't seen him since you left.
All right then. Yeah.
And that seems kind of surprising because,
I would
like I
ask-
said,
Yeah, I would ask how long ago you left.
not too long after you guys did. I think the same day, if I remember right.
Oh, so he hasn't been back.
Not that I'm aware. And as I said when you guys were at Weathertop, the night you spent there would have been 2 weeks, and that's when Gandalf said he would meet you, and that was 3 days ago.
Let's go save Gandalf.
Where did he say he was going? Do we remember where he said he was going?
Said he
All
was
he
going to
said
go
was a
check out the
friend.
ledger. Yeah, he said he was going to go check out the ledger with a friend who
friend.
liked riddles.
Okay.
He went to go see Bobo.
No.
Right, that was my thought, Bilbo. But he didn't bring up riddles, and then yeah, I mean it's got to be Bilbo, right? Anybody else have an idea?
Not I.
No?
Boren wouldn't know Bilbo.
Well, and regardless, that's that is quite the trip. It on foot. It took you and Zemi about a week to get here.
Yeah.
Assuming Gandalf is using a horse, that's going to cut the time in half roughly. But the way you guys are situated right now, you're going to have to take a rest before you could even think about any kind of rescue mission.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I go back, before I go, freshen up in my room, I imagine I'm still in the inn, the pub area. Do I see that old ranger that we saw last time we were here to see Gandalf?
Nope.
Okay.
It'd be fucked up if you did after that guy just said he doesn't know of any rangers in town.
Right.
He's just sitting right there at the bar. Nope, ain't seen no rangers. All right then. Yeah, Boren's gonna grab his turkey leg and his fucking bed beer, and he's gonna head up.
All right, so each of you head to your rooms, taking your own little routines and getting yourselves cleaned up, getting something to eat and whatnot. A few hours pass as you all filter back down into the common area, and excuse me. It's late afternoon in Bree. The golden summer light filters through the windows of the Prancing Pony, where you spent the last few hours cleaning off the road and taking in a hot meal in the warmth of the friendly firelight. Da-da-da. The door swings open and Aldrich Holt, the captain of the Breland Warden, steps inside. His green cloak is travel stained and his hand rests casually on the hilt of his sword. He spots your group and quickly strides over with a purposeful gait. There you are. Its tone kind of gruff but not unkind. Mayor's ready to see you. He wants the story firsthand.
Okay.
This is very well then, and he waits long enough for you guys to gather your things and turns and leads you out into the bustling streets of Bree. The warmth of the sun is fading as the shadows begin to stretch across the cobblestone. Few townsfolk give you glance your way as you pass, some with curiosity, some with quiet thanks. Seems word of what happened in Archet is clearly spreading. The Town Hall of Bree stands proud at the end of the main lane, an old timbered building with wide steps and tall windows built when the town was smaller, but sturdy enough to last another 100 years. Aldrich leads you inside, his boots echoing on the wooden floor. As you near the mayor's office, you round the corner, you hear voices coming from the end of the hall. Aldrich holds up his hands and motions you to stop and says, let's wait here a moment. Seems he has a visitor. Down the hall, you see the door slightly ajar. Inside, you catch glimpses of two men. Aldrich points to the one on the left. You see an older man, silver-haired, tall and strong of frame, dressed in a dark green cloak with brass buttons. His bearing is calm but commanding. Aldrich says, that's Mayor Kildrick Halberath. He then points to the other one on the right and says, that's John Fernie. He's a local trader. Owns a few wagons and warehouses over on East Row. You see a middle-aged man with slick dark hair, sharp eyes, and a trader's polished look. His posture is tight with frustration, arms crossed over a fine brown waistcoat. Seems they're having some kind of heated discussion.
Can I hear any of it?
Roll me a perception check.
Is Boren there, or is this after he went up and went to bed?
Oh no, I didn't assume you were going to bed. The Aldrich told you guys he would meet you at the inn after a couple hours and take you to see the mayor, give you a chance to clean up and whatnot. So Killian, you do hear a few whispers. Very hard to make out. I will.
Can I do a perception check too?
Can. Anybody who wants to try to listen can roll a perception check.
Perception.
Perceiving.
All right, Zimmy, you in on this? What else am I
No.
missing?
I'm not trying to listen.
All right. So Freya, Boren, and Killian. It's very hard to make out. Voices are very low. You see Fernie. He says, that's not how we do business in Bree. Halberast says, hard to make out the first part of the sentence, but the last part he seems to say, John, we look into it. Fernie seems to reply something again, hard to make out the first part of the sentence. His head kind of turns away, but the last part of it, you kind of make out the middle part of the sentence. Everything I've built, and then Halberas replies again. You can make out the beginning. He says, "I'm protecting this town. That includes you, even if you don't like how I'm doing it." And voices kind of fade and they get lower. Kind of hard to make out the rest of this tense moment.
How far away are we from them?
About 30 feet down the hall.
Jimmy's going to take a step forward and go, "Hey!"
They kind of look down the hallway towards you.
I'm going to look at the guy who's not the mayor, Fernie,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to tell him to leave.
All right. What does he have to roll here? A contested charisma check, intimidation.
I would like to stand behind Zimmy to assist with said intimidation.
So I'm going to use persuasion, but he's got to roll a wisdom insight check,
All right.
unless he's immune to being charmed. He gets advantage.
Why does he get advantage?
If he's immune to getting charmed.
Oh, if he's immune to getting charmed. And it's contested against your persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll. He kind of looks at you, furrows his eyebrows, looks back to the mayor, says something, and then turns, and door swings open. He kind of strides out. His face is flush. Kind of looks at you as he walks by, kind of glancing at each of you, kind of offers a tight smile and a nod, and storms past without a word. Aldrich watches him go and turns to you and motions you down the hallway.
Boren's gonna take note of the fact that the hobbit that he was just calling timid a few nights before just like fucking hang dong on this guy for some reason.
All right, so you guys make your way down the hallway. Aldrich pushes the door open, gesturing you in, and you have Mayor Kildrick Halberas, who stands behind his desk, brushing his hand through his silver hairs. He regards you. Up close, he feels much less like a politician and more like a weathered watchman. Eyes alert, hands callous, voice steady. Says, well, who do we have here? Says, smiling as he steps. I'm sorry, got to redo that. I'm trying out a voice. So, well, now, who do we have here? He steps around his desk, smiling. We're going to go into a council phase. So, spokesperson, give me an introduction roll. DC 15, any kind of charisma check you want to do. And tell me what you're saying. Or tell me what you're saying and I'll tell you what check to roll.
Jimmy's going to ask him what that conversation he was just having was about.
He says, "Oh, nothing. Just a misunderstanding in how I'm running the town."
No, really, you got to let us know. If you're
Oh,
speaking
well,
about the protection of Bree, with the protection of Archet,
oh, it's exactly what I said. Actually, he doesn't like how I'm questioning people and thinks he knows better than me on how I should run this town. But you're the adventurers that took out the bandits at Archet, I presume.
that is us. We heard that
Uh,
you had some reward for us.
Roll me a persuasion check for the introduction roll. That meets it, so the next rolls will be regular. It says, well, yes, I'm told you've done good work. Archet would be in much worse shape if not for your efforts. Heard you'd had quite the hunting trip. I'd love to hear the story sometime, but more interested in what happened in Archet. Completely forgetting about the voice. I'd love to hear that story firsthand from the top, if you don't mind.
Well, this one over here is going to gesture to Boren. Nearly fucking died. We spent the night at a house and turned it into a trap. And then we came into Archet and put down what? I'm going to turn and look at Freya. 10, 30 bandits. And we got this here dagger. Or saw the fucking dagger. If that means anything to you. But tell me, what led you to get Archet into a position where it could be taken by such banditry?
Well, the wardens usually protect the place. You know, they have their jobs, and usually when we hear there's trouble, we send help. You know, carts being delayed a day or two are kind of normal. You see, we don't exactly have very good communication with Archet. They have their mayor and their wardens. They're kind of responsible for their own protection. But as I said, if we know there's trouble, we do try to send help.
Then what you got us all fucking 7 of us piling in this small ass office for? To tell us if you don't care about Archet?
Well, I didn't say I didn't care about it, but as I said, Bree is grateful for what you've done. Yeah, you've proven yourselves not just brave, but wise, and Bree needs more folk like you, folk who don't look away when something wicked stirs.
You think that we're a couple of sellswords now, are you?
Well, I was just going to suggest, if you ever need a favor, if you're ever looking for work, you need a voice in town, come see me. That's a promise.
What kind of work are we talking about here, Mayor? I don't want to be running around collecting your taxes for you.
Oh, of course not. You seem more of the adventurous types, We hear of bandits wandering around every once in a while. There's even telling of orcs off to the north. Every once in a while there's a need of business for a company like your own.
Well, I speak not for the rest of the party, but I'm no mercenary for hire, if that's what you're getting at.
Well, of course not. I only look to protect the town. I would never ask you to do anything against the law or anything, if that's what you're insinuating.
Well, what you be having us protect the town against then, Mayor? What's out
Well,
there?
as I said, this same kind of threat that Archet faced. I was told you found some kind of ledger. You made anything?
I'm gonna look at Lingo because he's got all the fucking books and shit.
So go ahead and roll me a intimidation check. DC 10.
Am
That's
I
gonna
able
be
to
a
assist
fail.
with that? Just like
How are you?
menacing behind him, like nodding,
So,
like come to us.
so,
Hold on. I just want to over the top of everything. The mayor did just see like Zimmy tell that guy to leave too. So
yeah, go ahead and give me go and roll it with advantage. There you go. So that is going to pass this council. So while I'm remembering, everybody is going to get 12 points of experience for the travel that you guys did, the last leg of travel, and you are going to get each of you are going to get 10 points of experience from this council. So you have passed the council. So Zimmy is looking to you, Lingo, in regards to the ledger that he asked about.
Yeah, I'd respond like, yeah, I did find some sort of leisure. I wasn't really sure what to make of it. I passed it to a friend for a minute.
And nothing's come of it so far?
No, nothing's come of it. I will say that it did look really interesting. What are you familiar with the ledger?
Well, I was just told that such thing was found. Just interested if you had any more leads, or I'd like to assist in any way I can with rooting out these bandits. You know, they hit a town as close to us as our chit. You know, that's dangerous for Bree, you understand?
Yeah. Well, does the abbreviation JF mean anything to you?
JF. Oh, not particularly.
That was something that I saw a lot in the ledger. I believe that's the
Well,
only lead that I really have.
Well, as for the prisoner, he finally talked. Said he was only recently brought into the ranks, but before things fell apart in our chit, he overheard something talk of a base camp somewhere up in the North Moors. Deep country. Said he'd never been there personally, but it sounded like that was where the real operation was based.
The real operation?
Yeah, maybe a base camp or something.
Mm. I'd sort of look at the rest of the party quizzically.
Zimmy's gonna ask us like how far away that is. He has no concept of where shit is.
So, Zimmy, you would know that the North Moors is about 4 days travel north of the Shire. I meant to say Killian. I'm not sure whose name I actually said there.
We said Zimmy,
Yeah.
the person who knows nothing.
Yeah. Not who I meant to say.
Say, Mr. Mayor, are you expecting us to take this adventure on for you today?
Well, of course not. I heard you just got back into town. I imagine you're gonna want to rest up. But if you could, if I could offer you any help in doing this, if you did decide to do this, I would be more than grateful to do so.
Say, your stable have a couple of ponies for me and my dollar friends?
I'm sure we could arrange such a thing.
I'm gonna look over at Boren. Do I have to share one with him?
They do come with smaller sizes for the smaller folk.
And I'm gonna like shoulder bump Boren. Well, do you want to shoot some more flaming arrows into a fucker's forehead? That's Cillian.
Yeah.
Say, Mr. Mayor, do you think you could send a couple of guards with us as well, just in case any things happens on the way to the Shire?
That would be up to Mr. Holt there, but if he has enough wardens to spare, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Holt kind of thinks about it and says, well, sure we could arrange something. I could spare one or two.
Aye.
And Mayor says, well, if you can think of anything else, let me know. You know where to find me now. Visit any time you'd like. You're welcome here in Bree.
Do you have a horse and carriage?
I'm sure that could be arranged as well. On a loan type of basis, you understand.
Of course.
Say, Mr. Mayor, for your friends and saviors of Archet, how much would one of them their wagons cost?
And I'd have to arrange a price with one of the local vendors, but I'd give it to you for the price that I paid, which I could arrange a discount.
You know,
Give me a
since
couple.
we'll be coming back from the North Moors after having saved your ass again. You might want to give it to us for a discount.
So, Killian, knowing where the North Moors are in relationship to where you are in the Shire and everything, you don't even necessarily have to roll a check for this. That's your area. You kind of know the terrain, and you can travel the road from Bree to the Shire, no problem. But once you leave north of the Shire, there are no more roads. So a cart might be kind of tough to navigate. It's definitely going to slow you way down.
Yeah. May want to just go with the option of just the horses. Once we get far enough along on the travel, it'll kind of be difficult terrain for a cart or wagon to make it.
You could just park it in the Shire. There's no bandits there.
Aye, we could do that.
Well, that is a plan. If you do want to buy a cart, as I said, I can arrange one. Give me a couple days to look into it and set up a deal, and before you leave, I will have one arranged.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
My pleasure. Are you looking for buying the horses too, or loaning them?
Oh,
Horses
no,
as well.
I thought that was part of us there saving Archet and you helping us help you get to the North Moors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can loan you the horses, but that kind of investment, Bree is a modest town, you understand.
Aye, and we are a modest group. We have other places in Middle Earth that we could be.
Absolutely, I'm sure you do, and we appreciate everything you do. And as I said, you need a voice in town. I can arrange a deal. I can get you horses or most things at a discounted price, but getting them for free, don't know if I could do that right now.
Say, Mr. Mayor, what are you going to think when the bandits roll into Bree and bend down your walls and make your big fancy gate out front look like a matchstick?
Well, wardens do a fairly good job of protecting us, and it's been quite a few years since we've had any bandit attacks on Bree itself. Hope it never comes to that.
Aye, that's two of us then. Say, do you think you can get us all of the horses for the price of one?
He kind of raises his eyebrows. Says, "Oh, that's a big ask. Roll me a persuasion check." Says, "I assure you."
How many you?
I-
How many? I'm gonna use that. Before that, fucking Mary even had a thought in his old ass head. Sammy was already reloading his next contort. Shit.
Try again or no?
Yeah, why not? I was at the casino last weekend. It's the same shit.
There you go. 23, not bad. He says, I understand you're a modest group and probably tight on funds. I'll tell you what. I'll pay for the horses. Think of it as a favor. Something you can pay back in other than gold later on.
Hi, Mayor. I knew we were friends. Say, because you're doing that, I'm willing to pay the discount. I'm willing to pay for the cart, even if it's full price. You know, keep the money in the economy.
Very well. I'll see what I can do.
Well, I don't know when your bedtime is there, Mr. Mayor, but I think we all have a somewhere to be.
Absolutely. As I said, you're free to come and see me anytime you want. You have a fine night, and I'll see you in a couple days.
Aye.
So you guys turn and head out of the inn, heading back to the Prancing Pony. The evening air is warm and smells faintly of summer hay and pipeweed. Company walks the familiar cobbled streets of Bree, lanterns flickering to life as the sun dips below the rooftops. After the tense meeting at the town hall, the golden light spilling from the windows of the Prancing Pony is a welcome sight. As you push the door open, the familiar hum of the tavern surrounds them, laughter, clinking mugs, and the low strum of a lute near the hearth. What would you guys like to do? If you guys don't have anything particular, we can start the next fellowship phase. Kind of healing yourselves, going and selling whatever you need to sell, waiting here for Gandalf.
Yeah, fellowship.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so undertakings. What would you guys like to do for undertakings? We have to refresh everybody's mind. Meat Patron wouldn't be available right now. Pondered stories and figured maps gives the company advantage on pathfinding checks, so that would be the travel checks from the guide. Strengthen Fellowship, raise the Fellowship rating by 1 until the next Fellowship phase, so that would give you an extra inspiration into that Fellowship pool.
Okay.
Study magical items. I don't think anybody has any of those. Sing a song. Write a song.
I wouldn't mind the travel check one.
Yeah.
Feel like we're going to
All
be
right.
going a lot of back and forths.
All right, and if everybody's okay with that, you can also pick one of those, any of those, for your secondary or free activity, free undertaking.
I don't know. Do we need to strengthen the party again?
I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
Or do we want to do another song?
Songs are dope.
Last song was pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a walking song too, because we did a song of victory last time.
Yeah, let's walking song it.
And what was the travel one?
The travel one gives advantage on pathfinding checks until your next fellowship phase.
I mean, that one
Path-
seems huge for sure.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pathfinding checks are the ones that the guide rolls when you're traveling down the road, and those determine how often incidents happen.
So do you mean scout?
No, that'd be me.
No, that'd be the
Oh,
guide.
okay.
Yeah. So the better the guide rolls, the longer until you're going to have some kind of incident on the road.
I get guide and scout mixed up.
Yeah, we haven't we haven't needed to like dip into the party inspo that much, so I think we'd benefit more from a song.
Yeah, I think I kind of messed up giving you guys access to being able to stack it to 3. I should have probably kept it to 1. Because that fellowship inspiration isn't getting used. Like you guys have too much inspiration, really. You know.
Yeah.
Fucking inspired.
I feel like you've been giving it out a little less though, so
I've been trying to. Yeah. So you guys feel free to mark those down. What did you decide? Strength and fellowship or pathfinding?
I thought it was pathfinding, the travel.
Pathfinding and song, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Pathfinding and song. All right. You feel free to mark those down. And again with the song, not sure how I will increase the walking song, but it will get an increase some way if you actually write a song and sing it when it's time.
Alright, it's in chat if anyone wants to help me sing it.
All right. So as far as the rest of this time that's going to pass, anything else mundane anybody would like to do? Selling items, whatnot.
Zimmy's gonna find a Fletcher and buy some arrows, and then try to pay someone in the party to train him in bow.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
I'm gonna.
Boren would step up for that for sure. But he would also recommend Lingo and Killian helping too, since all archers have different techniques.
Zimmy's gonna
Alright.
insist because you have short arms like him.
So equipment. So you can buy 20 arrows for 1 silver.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Anybody else need to refresh ammo while we're here at this part?
Yeah, Boren would definitely like to buy 20 arrows and like I said, the woodworking tools.
All right. Woodworking tools.
And I need a price for those pelts and tusks.
Yeah. Gotcha. Tools. There we go. Looking in the wrong spot. So woodcarver's tools are 1 silver.
Okay. And how much for the 20 arrows?
1 silver.
Did you say 20 silver?
1 silver.
1 silver for 20 arrows? Good. Okay.
Killian arrows. Lingo arrows.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I'd
gonna
freshen
get.
up my arrows.
All right.
Yeah,
Um.
and then.
So. Go ahead.
So how much of the equipment in my tinderbox would you say I've depleted? So I might want to buy another one.
The tinder boxes. They have a use.
I don't know.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's got items in it. I've
Yeah,
used
it
them to make the fire
contains-
arrows.
Yeah. So I'll say that it takes 1 tinder box can make 5 arrows. I don't know. That might be can make 3 arrows. So I think you've already made 3 or 5 or something like that. So you would have used up the tinder box you currently have.
Okay. And yeah, I'll buy
They're
maybe 2 more of those.
They are 5 copper each.
Hell yeah.
So anybody else want to buy anything?
I don't know
Or
if
should
mine
we
would be
sell?
considered buy, because getting the
Yeah,
bear
well,
pelt turned into a
yeah, we'll
cloak.
get to you in a few minutes. We'll do that last, like
Okay.
just buying mundane items from regular vendor or anything, or do we want to sell first and decide how we're splitting that up and
Yes.
see how the money? Okay, so start with the boar tusk. You have 2 damaged and 2
Too
good.
good. Yep.
So you're gonna get 3 copper each for the damaged ones and 5 copper each for the good ones. Boar pelts. What were those? How many damaged?
1.
So it's gonna be 1 silver for damaged.
Okay.
3 silver for
Good.
3 for good and 5 for fine.
Oops, sorry. That's S. Belts. So 12 silver, 16 copper.
All right. And anything else you had?
Also a normal longsword.
Or just a second.
And this is my personal one, so this is for me.
You're looking to sell it?
Yep.
They will give you, it's longsword, right?
Correct.
They will give you 12 silver for it. Is that all?
I'll buy a rope.
Buying a rope. That is gonna run you 1 silver. Like fucking 50% of this stuff is 1 silver.
Is there a master list? Because I'd like to know like what I could actually purchase.
It's most stuff that's like mundane items in D&D. Pots, pans, oil, mirrors, mess kit, chalks, chains, candles, buckets, bottles, paper, blankets, bedrolls, backpack, saddlebags, shovel. I mean, just think about items that would be in Middle Earth. This is a low magic fantasy world. Think about stuff they would have around. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the book.
Yeah.
But while you're thinking about that, we'll move to Targon. So Targon, you have this bear pelt.
Yes.
You want it made into a cloak.
Yes.
All right. That is going to cost you. He tells you it's going to cost you 1 gold, and it's going to take him about a week to do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bear fur is pretty thick, right? Like
Yeah,
I feel
mean,
like
it would
that would
definitely-
give like an AC.
Nah. It'll help you against the cold, but it's not offering any kind of protection from an arrow or a sword.
You sure that bear skin was pretty thick there?
I
It
feel
was
like it
taking
should
half
give
damage
like
to everything.
Yeah, but
gold,
that's
That's true.
gold
That's
worth of
but that's
AC.
right. But that's not just from the skin. That's from the skin and all the fat and muscle underneath it. Like you have
He
a
would have
lot
taken
of
that too.
you have a lot of a lot of a lot of hide and
A lot of bear underneath that hide.
yeah.
Well, there's a lot of targon under that hide now.
Yep. So back to selling, buying. Anything else anybody wants to sell or buy before we move on? And Lala, as far as master list, if you go to the book, which is in the one of these tabs. Where's this book? Yeah, this isn't what I want.
The book's underneath journal and then books. The journal tab.
I don't see books. Well, anyway, you
It
can
should be
also.
under the compendium too, if you have access to that.
Oh, I'm in the wrong. Yeah, it is under it's under journal and it is the books. If you open the book and go to chapter 3, equipment is towards the bottom. Equipment, weapons, tools, armor, stuff like that. But you guys can look that over and just message me in private if there's anything else you want to buy or do or anything. But off the top of your heads, if there's nothing else that you want to buy or anything like that, we're going to close out the market shopping part of this and move on. Good, good.
All right.
Good.
All right. So next few days pass. How are you guys relaxing?
Boren would be kind of chilling, carving this bow. Maybe giving Zimmy a few pointers and whatnot. Maybe not actually like out there shooting, but just like in chat, kind of. Now, what you're gonna want to do is,
Yeah, Zimmy would be focused on shooting some target that the fucking the warden shoot on for like practice. While listening to Boren talk about whatever bullshit he talks about while he's carving his bow.
wow. That's what your mentor wants to hear, the knowledge he's dropping on you.
No, not that
Oh,
part.
shit.
The fucking the dwarf part, whatever dwarven shit he's been talking about.
Oh. Yeah, he likely would have some stories about like dwarf cousins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
How good they were with a bow.
like being underground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anything in that realm.
Yeah, we're shooting shit in the dark, dude.
Yeah. And what are you doing after these bow sessions? Heading back into the inn. What are you doing in the evening times?
Try to get people to roll dice for money.
Yeah. Boren would just eat, drink, maybe some small talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
Lingo would be making small talk, chilling by the fire, working on his notes, books, just writing things down, seeing if I can make any more sense of the riddle or the passage.
Yeah, Boren would likely be take interest in helping Lingo with that sort of thing.
all right.
Especially since this the seeing stone is kind of of interest to him.
All right. Targon, Freya, Killian.
I'm gonna do weapons and armor care,
All right.
Yeah,
and then
I'd probably
probably just
check over.
chill and have a few drinks at night.
Same.
Killian.
Check over my weapons. Hang out, drink, eat.
All right. Freya.
I will hand everybody 2 silver and 2 copper, and then eat and go to bed.
So, during this time, recounting the vision you had, you pass another detail over to Killian. One you didn't quite think was important at first, but after thinking about it for a few days, it you kind of get that end vision that you were left with when everything faded, and that last image that you had in your mind, the ranger standing in front of this old looking hill, this pine, these 2 pines kind of twisted around each other, with this large rock right underneath it, and the ranger kind of standing there in front of that. You pass that on to Killian, and Killian, you know of that exact spot. Actually, it's one of the spots you and your father would use to as like a drop point. There's a smaller rock between the tree and the large rock that when you move it, there's a box underneath it that you guys would use to pass on messages and whatnot.
It's, am-
Go ahead.
it's amazing the detail that you're explaining this place. Not only did you see my father in your vision, but even a place that we would frequent. I know where that place is.
And as it happens, it's in the North Moors.
But we could probably stop by there for this little job for the mayor.
Yeah.
So, nights pass on. There's one night in particular, they get you to play a song, Zimmy. They pull out your flute and you start playing a song. And as you play, you start to see the notes take shape in front of you, changing colors and waving in the pipeweed smoke as they float across the room. The firelight fades, and the warmth of a prancing pony slips away like a dream before morning. You find yourself on a gentle hill beneath a vast twilight. The stars shimmer overhead like 1,000 seeds waiting to fall. The land around you is soft and green, humming quiet with life. A flute rests in your hand. Not your flute, but the golden vine vine etched flute. Different. It thrums faintly in your fingers as though alive. Then she comes, not from above nor from below, but out of the earth itself, like the scent of spring rain on the first bloom of barley. A tall figure of radiant grace, cloaked in the hues of autumn leaves and ripened grain. She approaches. Her presence is not thunderous or overwhelming. It's gentle, like sunlight through the orchard branches. Her hair is the color of bark and honey, twined with vines, and her eyes hold the stillness of ancient woods. She kneels before you, not in worship, but in invitation. She places a hand over the flute, and the wood begins to glow, not with fire, but with the warm pulse of something that has always lived in the soil, something that remembers how to grow. She says to you, Let the roots listen. The voice doesn't seem to come from her, though, but seems to be carried by the wind. It says, let joy call forth the harvest. Then you are no longer alone. Around you, hobbits appear, not warriors or scholars, but tillers of the earth, keepers of kitchens. Their hands are rough, their hearts are open. They sit in a circle watching, listening. You raise your flute, and the melody that leaves is not yours, but it welcomes you like breath, like a like it has been waiting for you. The notes curl into the air like seedlings, and where they fall, vines twist, flowers bloom, and fruit begins to swell on branches that were not there just a moment before. The hobbits begin to sing. Their songs are humble and strange and full of laughter, but together they become something kind of holy. The plants respond, eager to raise to the sound of joy. You see burrows with rooftop gardens, fields sown in rhythm with song, children dancing in wheat that grows high enough to brush stars. The land listens. The land listens because of you. Then, as the vision begins to fade, the voice returns, once more as a whisper on the breeze. She says, sing for them, play for them. Small folk may yet mend what others forgot. Then, just as quickly as you vanished, you're back in the prancing pony, playing your flute.
Zimi's going to turn and look at the nearest party member and say, boy, the Longbottom's really good tonight.
So after about a week, one evening, you guys are in the prancing pony, and in walks Gandalf. His cloak weathered and dusted from the ride. He approaches you, all of you taking your dinner at a table, and says, ah, there you are. Come. I have things to tell you.
Aye, and us you.
He gives you a nod and motions towards the back room.
Head on back.
And I'm gonna,
So he
whoever's walking next to me, I'm gonna be like, why did he just walk in and act like he's been waiting on us?
A wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. So he leads you into the back room, kind of turning and letting all of you walk in as he closes the door, motions for you to have a seat, and says, well then, I think I owe you an explanation. Meant to be here sooner, but had to take a detour. And he looks to you, Boren, says, it concerns you the most. Gives you a nod. Says, I heard word that a dwarf matching Ilad's description passed through the Shire. Said he was headed west to the Grey Havens, so I traveled there myself. It seems your old friend visited trying to raise a company for some great adventure, offering only promises of fortune. Gandalf kind of chuckles softly. But the elves would have nothing to do with it, it seems. Your friend is having trouble gathering help. Adventurers are growing weary of empty promises these days. Without gold or proof, he found no takers and left not long after. And that does give us some time. Rumor said he's moving north, perhaps toward the halls of the dwarves in the Blue Mountains. Sent word to a friend there, one who knows how to listen. If Elad shows up there, we'll know.
Well then, perhaps what we've found would be of further use than I expected.
How so?
Well, tell me, wizard, have you ever heard of, what was it, a Palantir?
Palantir
Palantir?
says, well, yes, I have.
Could something like that perhaps help you locate this man?
He raises his eyebrows and his eyes kind of widen and says, Palantir are not meant to be taken lightly. It is possible if you found one powerful enough, though.
Well, if the ranger we met in the mountains is telling the truth, then there may be one at Weathertop.
The Weathertop, you say? The old watchtower. Palantir there. I know it used to have one, but wasn't it taken to Fornost?
Bourne's gonna look to the rest of the party.
Perhaps just rumors to keep people from stumbling upon it or seeking it out.
Yeah, I
I see.
Yeah, I believe that we found an elvish door that might lead to something. Could be the Palantir, could be something else.
And what gives you this idea?
Where did we find the riddle? Who gave us this riddle?
Elder.
Eldor.
Yeah, the ranger that we met out there. We got a riddle from him, which led us to Weathertop, and I'd explain the moonlight and the writing, and give him the passage from my book. Like, are you able to read this language?
He looks at it and
Yes, comprehend languages and reads it.
So give me a minute, guys. I lost it. I'm fucking stupid.
The one thing we traveled a decade back to Bree for.
Yeah, right.
Well, comprehend languages, if you virtual cast, it does take about 10 minutes to cast, so give him some time.
Yeah, give him some time. Okay, so it says, when moonless sky and starlight guide, one steps where kings once knelt with pride. Till truth is spoken, clear by name, another sees what no sword can claim. And I will put that in the chat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is it going crazy?
I feel like all we do is solve riddles and guys.
Oops. That's not all of it. I only copied half of it.
This is like one of those languages that like double in the common.
Yeah, like all he's saying is like, "What up, guy?" But it's that long.
This riddle sucks. It just says "I am Groot" over and over.
So there it is. When moonless sky and starlight guide, One's steps were kings, once knelt with pride. Till truth is spoken clear by name, another sees what no sword can claim.
Was there some place like knights prayed or gave thanks to something?
Kings,
Dude, there,
not knights.
No.
dude, there was a sword up there.
It
Might
says
yeah.
matter.
what no sword
Must
can claim.
must have been a sword that tried to claim and failed.
I think it's like something that you can't
We
get
have-
by fighting.
Well, first off, we have to be there on a moonless night.
Oh, we
Okay.
gotta wait till the solar or lunar eclipse.
So yeah, I clocked that too, but also, what does it say? The moonlight shines to make the stone like on a stone made bare. Like it's contradictory.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I
But
mean
remember-
maybe there is an
Maybe it's saying
eclipse.
that we have to stay there.
No, remember what you found on the moonlit night.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that maybe the first riddle was meant to lead us to this riddle, and then this riddle will lead us to another one that'll take us to another place.
The back of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast summon Nicolas Cage.
So, speaking of the new moon, that was last night.
Fuck
new
yeah.
moon?
Yeah,
Fuck you, DM.
Real nice, Turner.
Unreal.
it is. We are, just so everybody is aware. I don't know if I don't know how to show you guys the calendar that I have here, but we are in the year 2965. The month is May. The day is the 23rd, and the new moon was yesterday.
Hell yeah.
You know, I
Okay.
noticed that the moon phases were on the calendar when I loaded it up today. I was like, oh, cool, the moon phases are on there, and then I just fucking closed it out.
Oh, I thought that was just like a happens to be on Foundry thing. I didn't realize that it actually was
Yeah,
our
that-
calendar.
Yeah, that is our calendar that we are using. That's where I'm keeping track of the days that are passing and time passing and whatnot.
Okay, so
Maybe
it
I
looks
should
like we have
just
to.
X that out right when I load up Foundry then.
What's that, Lingo?
It looks like we have to go back during the new moon, and under the starlight is where we'll find out. And then maybe that sword is where kings once knelt with pride. Near that. Then we have. Sounds like we have to say something again.
Well, like I told you at Weathertop, you're pretty sure you have the spot and what you're supposed to say down. You're missing the timing and now,
Body position.
yeah, it has to be,
Kneeling.
so like anybody who wants, roll me a riddle check. DC 15.
I mean, it. I'll do a real check. It says where one steps, where kings once knelt. Which doesn't necessarily mean like we got to kneel.
This was a riddle check, correct?
Yes. Yeah, so Board and Killian, you would both kind of pick this out. Whereas the other riddle was part of the steps you need to take, this one is kind of the other part of the steps you need to take. The timing and like the last part points to, in particularly, the positioning. So one person is going to stand in this place and say the name, but they won't be able to see the door that no sword can claim, where another sees what no sword can claim. So it's going to take more than one person. Like you're going to have to be standing somewhere else, to see this door open.
Okay.
So what? Do we just in-game wait 3 weeks and head on back?
We have the bandits and horses.
Well, how long is it going to take us to get to North Moors?
So with horses, that's going to be roughly 6 days or so, depending on where in the North Moors you find this camp. Kind of 6 days to the edge of the moors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which would give us 2 days to find the camp, take care of it, and get back for a week's rest to get back to Weathertop on time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's something that's there for when you guys want to do it. But speaking of which, Gandalf, kind of hearing you guys, quiet down talking about the riddle, he says, well, onto the ledger. He takes it out and kind of opens it and pulls out a piece of parchment and kind of unfolds it on the table. And you can see it's where he's taken notes. And he says, there's a mention of a main base, but not a location, nothing concrete. What's clear is this: it's the central hub for this whole operation. Everything stolen by the bandit groups, supplies, weapons, valuables, seems it's being brought here. He taps the parchment.
Does it jive with the information the mayor gave us?
From what you can tell, the prisoner that he said was mentioning something about a main base.
Okay. Did you figure out what those initials meant?
The JF. It seems it's mentioned, if I'm correct about this, it's mentioned in connection with Bree, I think. So whatever this JF is, I think it's something to do with Bree here. So keep your ears open. Nothing concrete yet.
Okay.
How much do you know about the mayor here, Gandalf?
But it's the mayor.
Well, I've known him for quite a few years, since he took over the position.
He seemed particularly interested in this ledger.
Well, I imagine he's interested in protecting his town. I've always kind of got the feeling from him. See, him and his wife never had kids. Don't know the reason why, but I've always looked at him as kind of the father of this town.
I see. So there would not be ulterior motives there then.
I wouldn't suspect so. I mean, I wouldn't. These
Who was
days,
the guy
these
that he
times,
was arguing with?
these days, I wouldn't put anything past anybody. But I wouldn't suspect the mayor of ill will.
Simi, who was the guy that the mayor was arguing with that you told to fuck off?
Fresnel, something like that.
Renault,
And the
I'm not.
initials were JF?
Yes. I'm not aware of any Frenels though.
Well, it might be his surname, which would align with the initials then.
Yes, could be.
Well, he had a disagreement with the mayor on apparently how to run the town. So
Interesting. Very interesting. You said his name's Fresnel. Anything else about him?
I didn't quite hear what him and the mayor were talking about, but they seemed to be having some sort of argument. The mayor just stated that he seems to think he can run the town better.
Well, I wonder if it's a political dispute or I don't know. I'll ask the mayor myself though. It's definitely worth looking into. Very good job, Targon.
Oh, it wasn't
Uh,
me. I think it was Zimmy did most of the talking in there. Or was it Lingo?
well, you just told me about it, so good job on you remembering that. This Fennel character could be something, could be nothing, but like I said, I'll ask him myself. But back to the ledger. From what we've pieced together, seems there are about 10 such groups, likely similar to the size of the ones you faced in Archit. So that could mean upwards of 200 men or more, though they rarely seem to be all in the same place at the same size. Still, a force like that could do real harm if they're properly armed and led. See the kind of candlelight flickers across Gandalf's face as, his voice trails off, seeming to be in thought. For a few seconds of silence, she says, "What troubles me is why. This doesn't seem to be just greed. They're organized, coordinated, and the ledger doesn't name a leader, only that goods are being collected and then moved on."
Maybe they're looking for something specific, testing the items that they think are something they want, and when it's not, they move on to find something that is.
Or they're just trying to grow wealth. Wealth in itself is powerful.
Yes, but to what end? I just wished we knew where this main camp was.
Well, the mayor did tell us that he got it out of the prisoner we brought back, that it was in the North Moors.
Gandalf raises his eyebrows. North Moors, you say? That's where the prisoner believes this main camp is.
At least that's the information that they got out of him.
Well, I would ask you to go scout the area, see if there's truth in his words. I don't expect you to fight your way into a warband's den or anything of the sort. Not yet. For now, at least. We just need eyes. If there's a trail to follow, follow it. If there's a camp, observe it. If there's a map, a symbol, a name, anything, bring it back. He pauses.
And
Scanning each of you.
I wonder how tight-knit of a group this is, if maybe we could infiltrate.
Not a bad thought. With that many men, it would be hard for everybody to know everybody. I'm sure the groups themselves probably know each other, know who's within their own group, but as far as knowing everybody in all the other groups, not likely.
Well, some of us may kind of stand out even in a crowd. As he's talking to himself and also looks at Zimmy.
And Zimmy just kind of looks at him and smiles like very obnoxiously largely at him.
But then you just gotta think like a bandit. Tough as nails,
I mean,
prick,
unless-
and just give them shit back.
Unless you want me to stand on the Hobbit's shoulders.
3
They're like,
kobolds
oh
in a
wow,
trench
that
coat.
guy's got little legs, and yeah, that guy's got little legs and big upper body.
Like,
Well, why wouldn't they have hobbits and dwarves?
Good
We're not
point.
making
It is possible.
assumptions, but
I mean, they definitely wouldn't have hobbits.
Hobbits are not likely bandits. That is a good point.
yeah,
But dwarves have known to cross that line.
We can just throw some mud on him, tear his clothes up. Zimmy will look fine. He'll at least look the part.
Well, if you do agree to take this on, be cautious. Do not engage unless you must. Suspect this is only the edge of something far larger. Would rather not lose good folk to shadows we don't yet understand.
I perhaps the Rangers could infiltrate the group. Zimmy, Lingo, and myself set up around the perimeter.
Could do. Just gotta wait until we get there and see what it actually looks like. Make sure we case the place first.
indeed.
As I appreciate this, I know this may not be the glory that most adventurers dream of, but it's the kind of work that saves lives before they yet know they were in danger. And you will not face this alone. I'll be working from my end, and there are still friends in wild places of the world, but your part greatly matters.
All right. Well, I'd say we start getting ready for our trip to the moors.
All right, and that is where we're going to end it. Reminder: shadow points. Almost forgot. During the fellowship phase, everybody who had shadow points can remove 1 shadow point.
Sick.
I had a question. Oh yeah, I got a 12 on that fucking woodcarver tools
That was for carving the bow.
for the bow. Yes.
Okay. You're making progress.
All right.
I'll come up with a system for you. I've been meaning to
Alright.
do that. I have some ideas in mind, but I'll come up with a system for crafting and definitely take care of that.
All right.
Anything else before we close out?
That's all I got.
I guess during all that time we were waiting, could I prep some more arrows?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right, if that is it, thanks you everybody for.
I have one thing. I would like to spend the 3 silver and buy Zimmy a present in the form of Longbottom.
3 silver on Longbottom.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look that up in the book? Is that
I sure did.
okay? What is the price for
You
it?
must have a fat ass
3
hookup.
silver.
3 silver for 1 serving.
Oh hell, I didn't even look at that.
Yeah, Longbottom's 3.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, probably 3 silvers, 3 silver for a pouch, and the pouch has 10 servings.
Oh, it's 3 for a pouch.
Yeah, 3 for the pouch. Pouch has 10 servings.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
And with that, I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder and say, "You were definitely spicy with that mayor. You got us a good deal. I wanted to show my appreciation."
Yo, well, he fucking owes us. We almost died there.
Yeah, you only think you almost died. We're only just getting started.
Just swinging that little hobbit dick all over the mayor's office, dude.
She just grin and say, "Here's to more near deaths and to more prizes and to more pipeweed."
Yeah, that kind of
Hi.
threw me off. I wouldn't expected that at all. The thing was, he was about to leave anyway, but you doing that, it was just like, okay. Yeah, that threw me off.
Guys, I actually got to bounce. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right,
All right,
man.
see ya.
And
See
yeah,
you
we'll
later,
go ahead and
guys.
close out the session. And thank you guys for playing.
Hell yeah, dude. Had fun.